Show me if you've got a home." Constance followed her across the road, around the curve, and down the narrow lane. Frogs popped like happy corn all over the slick street. But the chill of the oncoming winter slithered through Constance's blood. She followed the dog for a good quarter-mile. Even before she hooked a left down the unpaved road hidden behind the trees, Constance had figured out that the mama was headed to one of the handful of empty places that sat decomposing on the 100 or so acres the Materi family owned. Constance paused only long enough to squelch the sizzle of anger that bubbled up inside before she pressed on, determined to know if the dog was a stray or a neglected mother from Janice Materi's puppy mill. Constance took the same turn and watched as the dog neared the abandoned house up ahead. Nobody had lived there in years. It was only a matter of time before it became condemned. The dog bypassed the crumbling porch of the old colonial and went around back. Constance knew little daylight was left, and she hadn't brought a flashlight. She broke into a trot, clutched her coat tighter around her, and didn't slow until the dog came back into view. Constance followed her, her heart thumping harder with each step. The dog passed the rusted chain-link fence and disappeared over a rise in the property, near an old shed so overgrown with trees it was only recognizable by a pale red door. Just as she reached the hill, Constance heard a squeak, the sort of high-pitched noise that echoes from everywhere and nowhere all at once. Another squeak came, and another. She crested the hill and saw the dog slink inside the shed door. Constance got to the shed and pushed inside. The dog had reached her destination. A battered old mattress, 3 shades of brown, lying a few feet inside. The mules, now loud and hungry, came from a shredded section of the mattress. Constance narrowed her eyes. At first, she counted only 2 bobbing brown heads, but as she drew closer, there was a third, then a fourth. The last one didn't move nearly as much, just sort of waited on his stomach. The puppies had cocoa-colored fur and black muzzles, eyes open. The ones that moved didn't really walk, just stumbled into each other like drunks. Mama dog curled around them, and they all wiggled toward her abdomen. Constance knelt down next to the mattress and watched the suckling puppies. She decided they were about 2 weeks old. The air in the shed smelled of sour milk, poop, and urine. She dug out another biscuit and reached slowly, her hand in a fist to protect her fingers, her gaze on the mama for any sign she was upset, such as pinned ears, bared teeth, or a raised ridge of fur down the back. The energy around the mom and her pups was calm, to the point of exhausted. Constance had certainly helped with enough of Sonny's dogs over the years to know. She offered the biscuit, and the mom took it. With her mouth busy, Constance carefully touched the smallest puppy, who shook so hard the tremble came from deep inside, beneath his skin and fur, straight from his bones. Constance rose slowly and did a quick search of the vicinity for more puppies, which turned up nothing but trash, vermin, and an old orange crate, which she brought over to the mattress. Now to see if Mom was going to accept help. Though daylight was precious, Constance waited until the pups were done suckling before she offered a third treat. "Let's go back to my place," Constance said, as Mom accepted the biscuit. "My sister has a rescue for critters just like you, and I help her all the time. You'll be safe there. Does that sound okay?" While Mama crunched, Constance reached for the 2 pups closest to her, and keeping an eye on Mom the whole time, she lifted them and settled them in the crate. Mom's chewing quickened, so Constance acted fast, lifting the last 2 pups swiftly but carefully. She rose to her feet, crate in her arms. The mother dog was on her feet almost ahead of her, pointing her muzzle at the crate and whining.